Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Brendan Bias from CheckIt.com and welcome to another Walkthrough Wednesday. In this week's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a template that I created for the new YouTube banner of 2013, which was forced on everybody in late May/early June of this year, and as far as I know, basically everybody hates it, but you know what? You gotta work with what you've got, and we don't really have much to work with, but you know, I guess we'll just do what we can, huh? So if you guys decide to download and use my YouTube banner template, you're going to get this little zip file here called YouTube Banner Template 2013, and just, you know, download that wherever you want and use WinRAR or whatever zip program that you have and extract the contents, and you'll get this convenient little folder here, which we'll go ahead and open up. And what you should get is 4 different files. You have the README, which essentially just says the thing is royalty free. You can do whatever you want with it. Just don't redistribute it. Just, you know, if you want someone else to download it, send them to the original download link at checkit.com. And if you have any questions, just, you know, send us an email. All right? Pretty straightforward. So other than that, all we have is an Illustrator version and a PSD version of the template, depending on which program you have there. And if you don't have either of those, for example, if you use GIMP, you have the JPEG image, you know, because, you know, I don't think you can use GIMP to open up PSDs. I really don't know. I don't use GIMP. But, you know, since I use Photoshop, let's go ahead and open up the PSD here, and this is what you should see. Now, I tried to make this as simple and straightforward as possible, but it's still a semi-confusing concept to grasp how this sucker works. So I'll try and explain this as best as I can. But first thing I want to point out is that I set up all these guides to help you decide on like cropping and things of that sort. We have these center guides to show you where the center of the document is. We have some guides going horizontally showing you where the banner itself gets cropped up on your desktop, tablet, and mobile devices. And we also have these little sidebars here on the tablet and mobile, so you know where that cutoff is as well. But as far as just showing you guys the template and how it works, these guides are a little annoying to look at, so I'm just going to hide those for the time being by hitting Control semicolon or Command semicolon if you guys are using a Mac. So a handy little tip for you guys out there if you don't know how to do that already. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know about this template is that you're essentially designing for 4 different devices. You have TV, desktop, tablet, and mobile. And the way this works is pretty straightforward, but it's also kind of confusing at the same time. You have this one giant image that you're going to be creating and uploading to YouTube, and depending on what device you are viewing YouTube from, it's going to scale down and crop this entire image accordingly. So if you're on a desktop version, this is going to be scaled down and cropped to this little bar right here, or not this little bar, but this giant green bar. And if you're on a tablet, it's going to be scaled down and cropped to this tablet portion, and same thing with the mobile version for like you know, mobile devices. And the cool thing about the mobile area is that since, you know, there's nothing smaller than a mobile device for, you know, viewing websites and stuff, you can count this as your safe area. Basically, since the mobile version appears on everything, whether you're on mobile, tablet, desktop, or TV, you'll always have the mobile version there. So you can put like all your logos, your websites, just everything that is absolutely important within the safe area, and then just have all your designs trail off into the tablet, desktop, and the TV areas. So one thing you're probably wondering to yourself is, why the heck would YouTube do this? I mean, it was so simple before. You had one image, it was one size at all times, and it looked really freaking cool. So why the heck would they go about changing this? Well, from a website designing point of view, this is actually kind of a smart thing on their end. They're aiming for a more responsive website. And for those of you that aren't really in web development, what a responsive website does is that it changes its layout and styling depending on, you know, the viewer and what they're viewing from. So, for example, right now I am viewing YouTube from a desktop point of view. I've got a full 1920 by 1080 resolution here, so everything has a lot of room to, you know, go about. And you see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, things scaled across for the content. Now, what would that look like if I were viewing it from like a tablet point of view? Well, I can't exactly show you what a tablet looks like on my screen here, but I can simulate it by scaling down the browser. So let's get out of the maximized view and simply just click and drag this down until everything starts scaling down. And you can notice that as we scale down the browser, the banner itself starts to crop off the edges. So basically, you know, there's that little medium between desktop and tablet that might be there depending on your resolution, but this is essentially what happens when you try and scale down to a tablet. And then if you were to look at the rest of the content, it got rid of some of it. So that way you only have 3 videos going across rather than 5 because you don't have as much room. And this is really great from YouTube's point of view because that way they don't have to create, you know, 2 or 3 different versions of their website to, you know, fit different like devices and stuff. So from YouTube's standpoint, this is a smart move and it's more towards like the future of web browsing and stuff like that. But again, for, you know, designers like you and me, it's a pain in the butt. So let's look at the template once more, and you kind of get the idea of how this is working. Just let me show you a few more things about this template here. For example, let's just turn off the safe area, and you'll notice that I have this this bar here at the bottom, this like, you know, slightly darker portion of green, and that represents the portion for the social icons. You know, you thought it was just something to make the text stand out a little bit more, but I actually found out the right size for this to match up with the social icons. And if you look at the banner here, you'll notice that this bar matches up perfectly with the edge of the little social box there. So if you want to create something that kind of matches up with that, I've got you covered. And also I put in this little portion for the channel icon, and even though this channel icon right here is a lot bigger, this sucker is sized at like 242 pixels in width and height, whereas this sucker is only 100 by 100 because, you know, everything gets scaled down. But the point is to get you an idea of how big the channel icon is going to be in relation to the rest of the banner here. And, you know, this is not going to be the exact position of the channel icon on all devices. This sucker is going to get moved, you know, from side to side depending on, you know, whether you're on desktop, tablet, and mobile, which is something that you were able to see when I was scaling this down. If you look right around here, you'll notice that when I scaled this down, you saw that black box that I had in there. And so technically I put it in the right spot, but when we scale it down, it just gets pushed off to the side and it's no longer relevant. So this is just kind of there to show you guys the size of the, you know, the channel icon, and so that way you can kind of get an idea of where you can put the rest of your content here. So what do you say we try and make just something really quick to put onto you know, our own little banner? So let's just let's close this up. Let's make a new layer, and let's bring back our guides. Let's keep this really simple. Let's actually bring up a rectangle tool and make a rectangle. And let's see. Let's set up a color. Let's do like a really cool, like bluish color. Something like that looks kind of cool. And let's just apply a gradient overlay. Let's put that to soft light and let's put that down somewhere around 50%. Looks all right. And I really like the little slanted lines. So let's put some of those on there, but maybe tone that down as well. Somewhere around there looks kind of cool, but maybe a little less. Let's do 25%. Okay, looks kind of cool. And let's do an inner shadow. Let's put that to soft light 100%. Let's put that at an angle of 90 degrees and just soften that up. And not bad. I'm actually I'm liking that quite a bit. Let's actually go ahead and grab that rectangle for the social box and bring that up top. And let's see if we can maybe do something like a drop shadow for that. Let's put that minus 90 degrees. And let's just see what we can do with that. I'm really making this up as I go. This was not planned beforehand, but oh, that's kind of cool looking. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Whatever. This is really just for a quick use of the template here, and I think I'm gonna leave the background just as it is. I mean, it's cool how it matches up, but it's also like different at the same time. But let's put a drop shadow on the main rectangle here, just for the heck of it. I don't really know why. Let's just throw that in there. And now what's something important to put in? We've got our logo, but we've also got the name. Whatever. Let's just keep this simple. Let's just type in check it, and let's find a font that I like. I always forget the name of the font that we like to use. There we go. Big Noodle Titling. That's the one that we like. Oh, I didn't have the text selected. All right, so Big Noodle Titling, and let's make it white this time around, and let's just kind of put this. We'll put this off to the right-hand side, so that way I know that it's not going to, interfere with the channel icon. Which, by the way, what size is that? Right about there. Okay, and if this sucker were to be right in here somewhere, okay, I've got plenty of room, so I could scale this up even more if I wanted to, but I'll just put that right there. And one more thing, let's throw in our logo. Hey, what do you know? I already had it up. Let's make it about yay big, and then we'll just set that to overlay, soft light. Yeah, soft light will work. And let's just tilt that off to the side, maybe a little less, and just kind of throw that over there. Maybe we'll scale it down a little bit. All right, so something like that apparently should look pretty decent, but maybe we'll put down the fill just a little bit, so that way it's there, but it's not like overwhelmingly there. And let's see. So that shouldn't look half bad, right? I think that looks pretty good. So let's just see what this is going to look like. Oh, but of course, let's turn off the TV and the checkit.com. So let's see, that should be pretty good. Oh, and of course, turn off the channel icon. And let's just save that as, so demo. And we'll save that as a JPEG and save it. And unfortunately, we can't go above 2 megabytes for the file size, but it seems like this sucker is simple enough that it got right under that at 1.7 megabytes, so we'll just hit OK. And let's bring up our YouTube here, and real quick, let's edit it. Edit the channel art, and let's go select that demo file that we just added in there. And when you upload that, it should give you a little preview of how it's going to show up on the different devices, and it looks really good to me, so I'm just going to select that, let it save, and voila. So there you go, and like I said, that little social sucker fits very nicely. The check it is there, it's in a safe area, so that way if I were to scale down to the mobile version, it's not getting chopped off there, but everything looks, all nice and pretty. And I don't know, guys, I think this was a pretty successful little demonstration here. So I hope you guys enjoy the template, and if you do, just give this video a thumbs up or leave a comment and let me know. And again, if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below or send me an email at brandon@checkit.com. And that's all I've got for you guys today. I will see you next week. Peace out.